Howdy.
Howdy.
Welcome to another edition of Under the Hat. I'm Bellboy.
And I'm Sydney.
And today is a special Under Your Hat special from
Psycho Saint.
Psycho Saint. This one's out to you.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about the similarities between John Cena today as Hulk Hogan.
That's it. John Cena.
Yes.
We're going to talk about him. You said, what were our thoughts? Did he compare to the modern day type of Hulk Hogan? And it's funny you might mention this because on Raw this week, Edge brought up a similar sort of topic and said that Cena is trying to be the modern day Hulk Hogan and trying to get the crowd to like him in the same way that Hulk Hogan does, but it's not quite working. And I can see where they're coming from with that. I can see Edge's point of view, and I can see that in that day and age when Hulk Hogan was the one and only Hulk Hogan, it went down a lot better than it does nowadays. Nowadays, people like their heels just as much as their faces a lot of the time. So maybe his version of Hulk Hogan isn't going down as well with most people, because Hulk Hogan at the time, everyone just seemed to like him. It wasn't just a 50-50 controversial sort of thing like it is with Cena. Most people did like him.
That's it. That's exactly what I think. Hogan was not only loved by the younger audience. I mean, Cena is young. That's a very good similarity there. They're both liked a lot by the younger audience, and they appeal to younger fans, especially Cena nowadays. I mean, they're changing his finishing moves. I believe the FU is now the what's it called?
The change of attitude. I don't know, what is it called?
I can't even remember. But anyway, they've changed his finishing finishes. STFU is now the STF. This I don't really agree with. I mean, I'm sure people are going to still call it the same thing. But like I was saying, I mean, Hogan has appealed to all ages, not just the younger crowd. Cena seems to be more of the younger fans follow him. I mean, I like Cena, and I think a lot of older guys do like Cena.
The Attitude Corrector. That's what I think it's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Attitude Corrector, it may well be.
Or the Throwback.
Yeah, it could be a throwback.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Because
I think they're planning on changing it if they haven't already anyway.
That's it.
But, yeah, I think the in-ring ability is quite similar.
Yep.
I mean, they're both not exactly the most catch as can kind of wrestlers. I think Cena might edge Hogan on the in-ring ability slightly.
That's it. Cena did bring in the spinny belt though.
Yes.
And that appealed to a younger audience. Hulk Hogan, he didn't go that far.
Luckily not. He didn't make that mistake. He did. They both sell an awful amount of merchandise. The franchise, as John Cena likes to say his name is, Hogan the original franchise. You know. And as Edge said, he kind of thinks he's maybe the Austin of this era as well, another massive franchise player. You know, selling possibly the most, well actually definitely the most merchandise ever of any superstar of all time.
That's it. I think you've got such strong heels now in Randy Orton, then you got Edge as well. There's not really a place for a Hulk Hogan, Austin type of person anymore. It's just too many heels that are so great that it's just 50-50. I mean, you either like a superstar because he's a good heel or a good face. There's not that type of wrestler, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing of the good guy, bad guy thing is totally finished. But even though we say that, it was kind of finished when Austin was peaking. The good guy and bad guy thing. I think that's what made Austin such a legend. Is he was a bad guy. The crowd loved him so much, it turned him face, and he became a legend. But yeah, I think Cena is never going to be a Hulk Hogan.
No.
At the end of the day,
I think personally they've got to turn him heel. just to take him into that next stage, that next step in his character. It's going to disappoint a lot of younger fans, but in terms of him as a superstar, it's going to bring him up that other notch of being a great Hall of Famer. I'm sure he's going to be a Hall of Famer anyway, but he's going to be that one more notch up to being a great legend.
Yeah, it's a shame they're kind of going the other way with him. They're making him Two-Face at the moment. He's Two-Face, but as you say, that's probably to appeal to the younger audience even more.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, well, what do you reckon then, Bellboy?
About what about Sydney?
Do you think he's true in what he's saying, Psycho Saint? Would you agree with the comments?
I think there is a lot of similarities, but to the point where he's the new Hogan, I can't agree with that one. But there is some similarities that you can see. And Edge pointed them out on Raw. There are similarities between Cena and Hogan, and even Cena and Austin, but they're very, very slight.
That's it. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, Psycho Saint. There's a lot of similarities, but I don't think Cena Mania is running wild just yet.
No.
No.
And I don't think it ever will run quite as wild as the Hulk.
That's it. But another topic you wanted us to talk about, TNA.
Me and Sydney aren't exactly as massive TNA followers. I mean, we've been WWF, WWE all our lives. But the one thing I do know about TNA is that they are losing quite a few of their promising superstars. And this isn't exactly a good thing for TNA. I mean, they're just up and coming. They've got a lot of old school superstars like Sting, Nash, Steiner, Booker T, Angle. They seem to be relying on these guys to hold that up, and that's probably something that they shouldn't have been doing. I think they're letting the up and coming guys go.
They need to bring their up and coming guys. It's not about them losing. I mean, they may have lost Christian, but that's not the end of the world. They've got a lot of superstars there. They're not using them to their full potential. WWE, they do seem to use their characters and their superstars quite well, their roster, but they're relying on old guys. They're relying on the history of the WWE to make their own history. And they haven't got that history, but they don't need to rely on these old veterans because they're never going to bring their company up. They need to bring it good in its own right with their own talent that they've got. I mean, AJ Styles is just, he's a legend in its own right. So just people like that they need to bring up the company, not the old has-beens like Sting, Nash, Steiner. They're not good anymore for that company. They don't need to be in that top limelight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's enough on that subject.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, hopefully TNA can sort it out, but that's pretty much all we can say about that one.
Yeah. And our next episode is...
Yeah, next episode. Right, that's coming right around the corner. I believe as Mania's coming up, we want to give you as much Mania sort of feedback as possible. We've got a big one nearer to the time. That's going to be a top 10, first one ever of that. That's going to be right round the corner from our prediction show for WrestleMania. But that's a little while to come. Next one, I think. I think we've had a few requests about this, but if not, I haven't had a request. I think we've talked about it between ourselves quite a lot. The top 5 matches of WrestleMania. What do you think, Sid?
Good idea.
I reckon.
It's a valid point.
That is a valid point. It'd be an interesting one as well, and I'm sure you guys would love to know the top 5 matches in our mind. We've done, top 5 WrestleManias in the past. I'm sure if you haven't checked that out, check that one. But top 5 matches, I would say, would be pretty good.
Yeah, anyway you slice it.
Anyway you slice it.
And until next time, what goes on under the hat stays
under the hat.